Hello everyone, welcome to my economics class. In this video, I'll be starting with the first chapter of class 10th economics, that is development. Now to start with the chapter, the first thing that we need to know is what is development. The simplest way of understanding development is that any changes that lead to the improvement in the standard of living of people are called development. And these changes may be political, social, religious, natural, or economical. Means in any sphere, in any area, like political, societal, or religious, or economical, in any sphere, if any change is occurring and it is benefiting the people on a large number, or benefiting the entire society, then such an improvement can be called as development. Now, discussing about some of the important features of development, let's elaborate the same definition in a better way. First of all, it is a process of change that I have already told you. Any change leading to improvement in the living standard of the people, that is development. So it is a process of change. Second is, it leads to betterment of standard of living of the people. The aim is to improve the living standard. Third is, different people aspire development in different ways. That is, they have different developmental goals. Now, people are of different nature, of different age group, of different gender. They have different developmental goals. This we will discuss in detail further as we proceed with the chapter. Right. For example, just a simple example here. As a student of class 10th, the students are aspiring to score maximum marks and to have good percentage. This can be their developmental goal. And as a teacher, I am having this developmental goal to make sure that every student in my subject score maximum marks, good percentage. So that is my developmental goal, to make them understand the concept, make them create their interest in the subject so that they can score good marks. So person to person developmental goals differ. Next is, development for one may be disastrous for other. Such kind of goals, developmental goals, are called conflicting goals. Means, again, this we will discuss in detail about the conflicting goals. So for example, here I can say one builder wants to build multi-story buildings, or a shopping mall in an area which is occupied by the slum dwellers. So he wanted to remove them from that area, and he wanted to construct a shopping mall there. But his developmental goal, or his development is dangerous, or is disastrous for the people who dwell there in slum area. Right. So such development or goals are conflicting goals. Now, why developmental goals differ from person to person? A hint I have already given. Every person perceive development in different ways. This can be due to the age difference. As I told you, as a student, I have given you an example. Your development goal is different, and my developmental goal is different. So age difference is one of the factor. Then sex difference, maybe gender difference, like the boys wants more freedom, and they get, but the girls, they don't get the freedom, right? So there is a difference. Their aspirations are different. Similarly, education, maybe a student who are doing engineering, they want to become good engineers, and maybe a 12th class student want to have a job, right, on the basis of his qualification. So education also leads to the differences in forming their developmental goals. Then the condition of life. A city dweller is having a different developmental goal, whereas a person living in rural area might have a different developmental goal. Like a farmer wants to buy a tractor. This can be his developmental goal, so that he can improve his agriculture and his produce, right? Maybe a person living in a city wanted to aspire to have a better post, a promotion, so that he can earn more. So condition of life is again a reason for setting different developmental goals. Then beliefs and values. Beliefs and values are again, we can say through an example we can understand. If any natural hazard occurs, so the educated people, they consider such natural hazard as as a reason for a geographical phenomena, right? Natural occurrence. But an illiterate person might believe that it is because of the bad spirit. So beliefs and values also differ, and responsible for the difference in setting up their developmental goals. Similarly, other factors are also there, like the experiences, social status, income. These are again such factors which person to person differs, and that is why their perception, or they are looking things differently, or their different ideologies. All these things affects in setting their developmental goals. So these are certain factors which are responsible for people having different developmental goals. Now next thing is, what is developmental goal? The events or changes through which people perceive development are called aspiration. What we aspire from life, what we want to what change we want to bring in our life, a positive change. Okay, this is our aspiration or notion for development, what we want to bring in our lifestyle, or it can be called developmental goal, right? Maybe a teacher who's teaching junior classes having developmental goal like to teach senior classes. So this is, we can say, our aspiration, what our wishes, our wish to bring positive change in our living standard, in our status, right? So such things are called developmental goals. Now talking about the conflicting goals, a change which is considered as development by one not necessarily result development for all. Maybe what I see development of mine maybe differ, maybe not beneficial for other people. So such developmental goals are called conflicting goals. As I have given you an example of a builder and slum dwellers, this is just to make you understand the difference between the aspirations of the people, between their developmental goals, how the growth of one person is affecting the lives of other. Talking about income, an important factor of development. See, when we consider our development, an individual's development or a societal development, then no doubt income becomes an important factor, because through a good income we can assess many things, right? We can avail many facilities. Now the reason why income is an important factor of development, it provides access of better facilities. If we are having money, we can avail various facilities. A good status in society, no doubt a person who is rich in society gets the attention of everybody in the society. financial security, we can secure ourselves financially for we can secure our future, right? So income is an important factor of development. Whereas if we see the other side of it, we can say that income is not the only goal. Reason being, it cannot guarantee a good health, a peaceful environment, cannot give a pollution free environment, cannot ensure friendship, love, affection, etc. So while seeing these reasons, we can say that no doubt income is an important factor for the development, but it is not the only factor for the development. We require many other things also. Then mix of goals. People wants to achieve a range of goals at a time to get a better standard of living, right? At one time, if a person is aspiring to have many things, that is called mix of goal, right? For example, a farmer wants to buy a new tractor. Side by side, he wants to with the agriculture, he wants to say, let's say, wants to do the cattle rearing, so he wants to buy the cattle also. So by doing this, he wants to supplement his own income and increase the production, and by doing this he can improve his economic status. So at one point, we desire to have different things, we desire to have different goals, so that ultimately we can improve our life. So this is called mix of goals. Then talking about the income, now related with income, if we want to till so far I have discussed about the individual development, but when we talk about the national development, let's try to understand what is national development first, and then we'll do a discussion over different factors which can be considered for judging the development of different nations. So let's talk about the national development first. It is the sum of development of people living in a country. People perceives even national developments differently. First of all, national development is in totality the maximum population of a nation and their development is national development. Here people not only perceive development individually, but they also perceive national development differently. The best example can be understood in a political way. For example, if the current government is taking any decision, maybe the other parties or the opposition party does not see that decision as beneficial as the ruling party, right? They might find faults in those decisions. So every person can perceive national development differently. Now, how to compare development of countries? There are different factors, there are different criteria to judge the development of countries. First one is income. When we cover the income, we need to discuss about the national income and the per capita income. We'll discuss it in detail, these factors in detail. Then the health status of the people, which includes the life expectancy rate, the infant mortality rate, or the body mass index. All these factors we will discuss. Then education as an important factor or criteria. It includes the literacy rate, net attendance ratio, gross enrollment ratio. All these things are very, very, very important from exam point of view. Then environment and availability of resources. Then infrastructure which is available to us. Then social peace and harmony, political, social and economic equality, concern for sustainability and protection of ecosystem, etc. These are certain criteria onto which we can judge different nations, how they are working, what is their status actually in the field of education, in the field of infrastructure, in the field of health facilities, etc. So to start with, the first factor that we will consider is income. Income is considered as the most important criteria to compare different nations, and it can be used in two ways. Income can be used in two ways: national income and per capita income. Now we will discuss these two factors in detail in the next video. Till then, just make your points, make your notes, and go through these points once again and revise it for the better your better understanding. If you find any difficulty, please write it in the comment section. Please like, share and review, and subscribe my channel. Thank you for watching this video.